Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. This is an art collage novel video. I made this series so you guys can experience the story faster. The video will focus on the character's psychology, the images are for illustration purposes only. You think you have the right to be taught by me? There was no falsity in that statement. Pan Zhong chimed in, that's right. You're not the pavilion master's disciple. Why should he teach you? We don't even have the honor, and we're with the evil sky pavilion, Zhou Jifeng said solemnly. You should be grateful that you were allowed to be here and witness the pavilion master unleash his amazing strength. The two of them spoke with one mind. The others were slightly distracted by this. Lu Zhou no longer looked at Shan Yunzhang. With a hand on his back, he tossed the falling moon bow. The bow flew toward Hua Yuesheng. She hastily caught it. She was slightly overwhelmed by the favor. She asked tentatively, Pavilion Master, does this mean the falling moon bow is yours to begin with? I'm giving you justice. The falling moon bow will be returned to its rightful owner, Lu Zhou replied. Hua Yuesheng was excited when she heard this. She held the falling moon bow as she fell to her knees and cowed out at Lu Zhou. Thank you, Pavilion Master. Shan Yunzhang was clearly displeased. Hua Yuesheng was her disciple. The falling moon bow was supposed to remain with her. She did not expect things to turn out this way. Various conflicting emotions rose in her heart, but she could not verbalize them. Hua Yuesheng carried the falling moon bow and went to the side to study it. Indeed, her name was engraved on the bow. Hua Wudao chuckled and said, Congratulations. Thank you for your encouragement, Elder Hua. Alas, this falling moon bow has acknowledged Shan Yunzhang as its owner. If you wish to unleash its full potential, it'll have to be refined again, Hua Wudao said as he looked at the bow. An awkward expression appeared on Shan Yunzhang's face when she heard the word owner. She did not dare to say anything. Lu Zhou glanced at Shan Yunzhang and said, I'm familiar with Yun Tianluo in the past. His shooting skills were much superior to yours. Shan Yunzhang was shocked to hear this. Beads of sweat appeared on her forehead as she said, I didn't know that you're familiar with the Patriarch, Pavilion Master. Please forgive me on account of that, Pavilion Master. Lu Zhou looked at Shan Yunzhang as he stroked his beard, who owns the mount, Ba Wu. Shan Yunzhang said, Third Elder Lu Ping. Tell him that I want to see him. Understood. Shan Yunzhang was overjoyed. This meant the evil sky pavilion would spare her. As for Lu Ping, she really could care less about what happened to Lu Ping. Moreover, when she recalled that Lu Ping was the one who lent her the mount and nearly caused her trouble, she was incensed. For this reason, she was delighted to hear the evil sky pavilion wanted to see Lu Ping. Lu Zhou waved his sleeve. Then, Shan Yunzhang left the evil sky pavilion hurriedly with her 4 subordinates. After some time, Zhu Honggong came flying back while carrying the mount, Ba Wu. Boom. He dumped the body on the ground. The others walked up to it. They saw the wolf-like Ba Wu. It had purple fur, bulging eyes, and protruding fangs. It looked hideous. It's ugly. Little Yuan cried out as she scrunched her face up into a disgusted expression. Little junior sister, mounts are usually like that. There are many mounts that are uglier than this, Zhu Honggong said with a smile. The others continued to study the mount. Although Ba Wu had died, it was every say that they encountered such a mount. This would add to their knowledge. Master, please make a decision. Zhu Honggong bowed and made an inviting gesture. Lu Zhou studied Ba Wu's appearance as he stroked his beard. Zhu Honggong said, Master, this mount must have come from Heaven Moat Forest in the southwest. It has thick fur that can withstand the cold. I think its hide can be sold for 1,000 caddies of silver, at least. These fangs, they're rare artifacts. They can be used as medicinal primers and should fetch a price of 500 caddies. As for its flesh, it's not worth much. The flesh of such beasts is tough and has a strong smell. The others regarded Zhu Honggong suspiciously. They did not know what he was talking about. When he sensed the peculiar gazes directed toward him, Zhu Honggong scratched his head. A force of habit. Sorry. Was the evil sky pavilion in need of such things? Zhu Honggong spoke again, Master, that shot shocked the heavens and the earth. I can hear the ghosts and the gods crying as well. Enough. Lu Zhou waved his hand and said, burn and bury it. Yes, Master. Zhu Honggong conjured up his energy without a second thought. He carried the huge mount and brought it to the back of the mountain as if it weighed nothing. Just when Lu Zhou was about to turn around and leave, Hua Yuesheng bowed and said, Pavilion Master, may I ask for a favor? What is it? I would like to learn the meteor after the moon. Lu Zhou stroked his beard and said, it's not a high-level arrow skill at all. There are better skills in the books at the western and northern pavilions. When you're at the 5-leaf stage, you may consider coming up with your own arrow skills. When Hua Yuesheng heard this, she said, thank you for enlightening me, Pavilion Master. I'll help you refine the falling moon bow once I have more time. After Lu Zhou finished speaking, he returned to the evil sky pavilion. Hua Yuesheng was slightly stunned by Lu Zhou's words. As Hua Wudao looked at Lu Zhou's retreating back, he quickly spoke on Hua Yuesheng's behalf, thank you, Pavilion Master. Refining a weapon was no small feat after all. Congratulations. Felicitations. Pan Zhong and Zhou Jifeng cupped their fists and offered their congratulations. They were filled with envy and jealousy when they looked at the bow in Hua Yuesheng's hand. They longed for the day where they could have their own weapons as well. Duanmu Sheng knew what was going through Pan Zhong and Zhou Jifeng's minds. He brought his overlord spear down heavily on the ground. Clang. The ground cracked. You can think about your weapons when you're in the nascent divinity tribulation realm. You're right, Mr. Third. Hua Wudao nodded in agreement. Let's call it a day. Elder Lang and I don't have any weapons ourselves. Why do you insist on owning one? Upon hearing Hua Wudao's words, Pan Zhong and Zhou Jifeng felt much better. If an elder with a higher status and cultivation than them did not even have a weapon, as juniors, they should not be complaining. Moreover, the falling moon bow was Hua Yuesheng's weapon, to begin with. It suited her best as well. In the pavilion. Lu Zhou called up the system dashboard and looked at his merit points again. Merit points, 33,200. After thinking about it, Lu Zhou decided to try his luck with the lucky draws. If he could get the 10 Worlds avatar, it would make his day. Lucky draw. Ding. Spent 50 merit points. Obtained reversal card X1. A good start. He had some luck. However, the next 10 consecutive draws resulted in a thank you messages. Lu Zhou looked at his luck points and muttered, lucky draw. Ding. Spent 50 merit points and 10 luck points. Obtained reversal card X10. Lu Zhou frowned. Was the system in collusion with the reversal cards? Perhaps, the system was giving him a hint? In any case, this was better than nothing. Lu Zhou did another 20 draws. He was amused that the attempts resulted in thank you messages. He finally lost the urge to continue. After muttering to himself for some time, Lu Zhou called up the item mall. He purchased the avatar, the 10 Worlds. Ding. Obtained the avatar, 10 Worlds. Spent 30,000 merit points. Equip? Lu Zhou did not equip it immediately. He looked at the price of the 100 Tribulations Insight avatar. 100 Tribulations Insight, 100,000. He fought the urge to curse as checked his remaining merit points. 1,600. It was a shame that he did not get refining talismans from the lucky draws. It was not something that could be bought like the other item cards. If he wanted to refine the falling moon bow, he would have to try again when he had better luck. He could not afford to purchase anything else with his remaining merit points. It was not even enough to buy a deadly strike card. Lu Zhou was still lamenting his poverty when Ding. Killed a target. Reward, 1000 merit points. Zhou was no longer surprised by these notifications. He merely wondered which sect's elder Yuan'er had targeted. He remembered the names on the list. None of them was worthy of any sympathy even if they died. Finally, Zhou said, equip. Shortly after, Zhou felt a new power course through his veins. The 9 transformations yin-yang avatar faded away and was replaced by the 10 worlds avatar. Nightfall. On the roof outside the Eastern Pavilion. Pan Litian and Zhenghai were merrymaking over wine. Why didn't you tell the Empress Dowager that you're the 3rd prince? Pan Litian asked as he looked at the moon in the sky. Elder Pan, why didn't you tell Pan Zhong that you're his 4th progenitor? Zhenghai retorted with a chuckle. Pan Litian straightened his back immediately and said, I asked you a question. How can you reply with another question? Wait. How did you find out about this? Zhenghai said with a smile, that's easy. You were once close with the 4th prince at the southwestern border. I've investigated you back then. What a cunning brat. The two of them were enjoying the conversation when there was a surge of power in the Eastern Pavilion. Zhenghai was relatively new in the Evil Sky Pavilion. When he saw this, he frowned. Did someone invade the Evil Sky Pavilion? Pan Litian shook his head and spoke with a tone that suggested that he was used to this. You should get used to this. The pavilion master likes to try his hand in these peculiar undertakings. Is that so? Boom. The accumulation of energy was completed. The Eastern Pavilion fell silent again. Zhenghai turned around and nodded. He was just about to continue their conversation when there was another, more intense surge of power. Boom. Boom. It sounded much louder than the previous commotion in the Eastern Pavilion. Looks like there's an enemy this time. Zhenghai said as he scratched his head. Looks like I'm quite popular in these parts. Even with news of my death circulating everywhere, there are still those who won't leave me alone. What a pain. The surging power caught Pan Litian's attention as well. He turned to look. He was not young and inexperienced like Zhenghai. His experience, knowledge, and insights were superior to Zhenghai. While he could not understand what caused the disturbances in the Eastern Pavilion, he did not doubt his own judgments about the surge of energy coming from the Southern Pavilion this time. He immediately said, Miss Ninth is right. You're quite shameless. Zhenghai touched his face and chin. Then, he said, I don't think so. No matter how shameless or thick one's face is, one cannot stop the struggles of the beard. Pan Litian rolled his eyes. He looked at the Southern Pavilion. He was full of praise. Exchange of hot and cold air, a vertical circulation, moving clouds, and 100 of waves. This is the sign of the 10 worlds avatar attempting a breakthrough to the 100 tribulations insight avatar. Zhenghai said helplessly, I thought someone's trying to assassinate me again. Somebody's having a breakthrough. Who is it? Could it be my dumb 4th grandson? Pan Litian's eyes brightened. You wish. Pan Zhong lives in the Western Pavilion, not the Southern Pavilion. Pan Litian said helplessly, the only Evil Sky Pavilion disciple without 100 tribulations insight avatar is Zhou Yu, Zhenghai said with a smile, my younger sister's truly lucky. The power surge lasted for about half an hour. When it finally died down, the Southern Pavilion was silent again. Pan Litian raised his wine gourd and said, a 3rd prince and an abandoned orphan of the imperial family. I think His Highness, the 4th prince, is the only one who seems proper out of all the other members of Great Yan's imperial family. Alas, he isn't destined to inherit the throne. His fate lies in the border. It's only natural for you to speak in his favor since he saved your life. You should have seen him when he was trying to flatter Lu Huan. Their arms were around each other's shoulders, Zhenghai said. It's all for survival. Aren't you the same? Pan Litian retorted. Zhenghai was at a loss for words. There was a brief moment of silence before Pan Litian said, indeed, His Highness, the 4th prince, has saved my life. I've served the army for decades in repayment and have killed countless enemies. In the end, I lost my cultivation base. I think the debt can be considered repaid. Repaying an act of kindness. You do have some morals, Zhenghai said. The next morning. In the Evil Sky Pavilion's eastern pavilion. While Zhou was meditating on the heavenly writing scroll, he heard Zhao Yu's voice. Master, I haven't let you down. I've entered the nascent divinity tribulation realm. Zhou opened his eyes slowly. Then, he walked out of the eastern pavilion with his hands on his back. Zhao Yu was clearly excited. She bowed slightly as she greeted Zhou. Master. Zhou glanced at her. He stroked his beard, nodded, and said, Good. I heard that you were condensing the 10 Worlds avatar again last night, Master. Hence, I didn't want to disturb you, Zhao Yu said. Review the old and learn the new. You can try to apply this in your cultivation as well, Zhou said with a straight face. His disciples were shockingly talented after all. Surely only good would come out of them revising what they already knew. Yes, Master. Zhao Yu was in an exceptionally good mood. So you've understood everything about the brilliant jade technique? Zhou asked. Yes. Zhou nodded in satisfaction. The brilliant jade technique is about an exchange of cold and warmth, just like yin and yang. It suits you well. I'm fortunate to have been personally instructed by you, Master. I won't be able to repay your kindness enough. Zhao Yu bowed again. Zhou noticed that her loyalty was increasing as well. It was well over 80%. This was also attributed to what he had done recently. Moreover, he had helped heal the Empress Dowager. This much was expected. Zhou raised his right hand slightly. A dark green dagger appeared in his palm. He waved his hand, and the sky dagger flew toward Zhao Yu. Zhao Yu was in a daze. When she saw the dagger flying toward her, she hastily caught it. It was icy to the touch. When she looked at it, she discovered it was a bright and exquisite dagger that was completely dark green. Initially, I planned to give you the tear-stained boxing gloves, but considering that you're a lady, I gave it to Old 8 instead. Although the dagger is small, it's a good weapon. Do you have any objections to me giving you the sky dagger? Zhou asked. If you do, I'll just take it back. Zhao Yu suddenly remembered Old 8's huge knuckles and his appearance of being covered in metal. She shuddered and said, I have no objections. I like the sky dagger very much. The tear-stained box was too hideous. Good. I'll bestow the sky dagger to you then. I hope that you'll put it to good use, Zhou said. Thank you, Master. Zhao Yu was overjoyed as she kowtowed loudly toward Zhou. After that, she did not waste any time to activate the sky dagger and have it acknowledge her as its owner. She was extremely excited to own the sky dagger. Ding. Activated the sky dagger. Grade, Heaven Grade. Owner, Zhao Yu. Reward, 1000 merit points. Zhou had expected this notification as well. At the same time, he was reminded that the tear-stained boxing gloves were not activated. At this moment, a female disciple appeared. She bowed and said, Pavilion Master, there are visitors from the Luo sect. Mr. Fourth has granted them entry up the mountain. All right. Zhou waved his sleeve and walked to the Evil Sky Pavilion's Great Hall. Safe journey, Master. Zhao Yu bowed. If this had been any other time, she would have followed her master to the Great Hall. However, the lure of the sky dagger was too great. She could hardly stop thinking about it. Inside the Great Hall of the Evil Sky Pavilion. Apart from Zhao Yu and the elders, everyone was present. Zhou sat on his throne as he looked at the people from the Luo sect. Greetings, Pavilion Master. More than 10 individuals had come from the Luo sect. Only 5 of them stood slightly in front of the others. Zhou looked at the young man who stood in the lead and asked, Are you the Luo sect's 3rd elder? I am. As the youngest elder in Luo sect, it was only natural that Lu Ping was proud. Lu Zhou stroked his beard as he appraised the people before him. At this moment, Guanmu Sheng demanded coldly, "On your knees." Lu Ping was stunned. The others from the Luo sect were taken aback as well. Didn't Shan Yunzheng say that the pavilion master is amiable? Why are their attitudes so bad? Wasn't I clear enough? Duanmu Sheng raised his overlord's spear and brought it down on the floor. Clang. Lu Ping hastily kneeled on the ground. The others followed suit as well. Lu Ping cursed at the second elder, Shan Yunzheng, 100 times over in his heart. He could only cup his fists and said, "Greetings, old senior Ji." Lu Zhou said, "You ordered the Mount, Ba Wu, to spew poison here. According to the evil Sky Pavilion's rules, you should have been a dead man now." When Lu Ping heard this, he shuddered and said, "Old senior, that mount doesn't belong to me. I was tricked by someone else due to my vanity. Someone's trying to frame me with this mount." Naturally, Lu Zhou knew that Ba Ma was the mastermind behind this. However, he feigned ignorance. Shan Yunzheng was tactful enough, so I spared her. What would you do to earn my mercy?" Lu Zhou leaned forward and looked at Lu Ping disdainfully. The others shuddered. They were too frightened to speak. Lu Ping cupped his fists and said, "I have brought certain items as recompense." He hastily waved his hand. The 5 individuals at the back brought the items out. There were refining cauldrons, hammers, tongs, and various precious materials such as refining stones, essential iron, prime condensing stones, and several other items. The others could not help but look. Zhenghai Jian mused, as expected of a great sect such as the Luo sect. They're certainly rich. I don't think I can ever bribe the old senior in this manner.